Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the bedside lamp tutorial. Like I said in the previous video, we're going to start with this section. No, we're going to model this section, but we're going to start with the shade. That's because it makes it easier to see how far to build this out when it comes to it. Okay, so like I did with this, I'm going to start with a box with the width and everything so we can use it as a guide. So this is going to have a width of 25, length of 13.3 and the height is 15. Okay, from top view again, cylinder, we're going to start with a cylinder this time. Just drag it out. Again, doesn't matter what size. The modifier, change the height to 15, and this is where we alter it manually. So in X-ray mode, go to the scale tool and just drag it down until it fits inside, and the same on the x-axis, like that. Yep. Okay, just drag it on top. Let's change that again. Okay, perspective view. Okay, now change it to, convert it to editable poly and select the top polygon and the bottom polygon and inset. It's up to you how thick you want the lampshade, but I'm just going to have let's see, 0.226 seems alright, and then click bridge. That's the lampshade done. We're going to add a mesh smooth to this later, so don't worry about that. Don't need that anymore. Okay, now we're just going to do this section. So just make that taller for the minute. Move it up, should I say. Cylinder again, click auto grid, and it lets you create the object on top of the surface of any object, but we're not going to do that. Just do a normal circle like that. In the modify panel, change height segments to 1, and 18 sides should be alright for that. Just drag it up and place it on top of this. Like that, it's perfect, dead in the center. And then in front view, just drag it down like that. That's all we need to do. And as you can see in this reference picture, the first part of the stand is really thin, and then it's inset in and insetted in and then extruded up. So we just change the height, that'll be fine. Change it to, convert to editable poly, not mesh, and then do an inset. I've got 0.35 centimeters. Let's see, will that be enough? Yeah, that'll be enough. And then extrude it up. Not 0.2 centimeters is fine. Inset again. Inset of 0.05, and then extrude it up. And let's see if you can see this. Yeah, that should be alright like that. Okay, see. Okay, so this extrudes out again. So what we're going to do is go to edge mode. Actually, you don't have to select edge mode. In the modeling toolbar up here, click Swift Loop. That allows you to add a loop without having to select any of the edges. So let's see, just put it there for now. Yep, that needs moving down a little bit like that. And then just select all the edges and click extrude. Now in this top section you want to click local normal. Okay, extrudes out, all connected. By polygon is like this, and as you saw before, group is like this, so it all extracts in the same direction. Extrudes, should I say. Local normal. Let's put it to 0.077, that should be fine. And just, actually that needs to be smaller, so just scale it down. Yep. And then select the middle, grow, delete because you don't really need that. And then in border mode, select the edge cap and go back to polygon mode. This is where it gets fun. In front view, it doesn't really matter at this point because this thing's circular, so it doesn't matter where, what viewport you're in. So with that in mind, now we're on to this section here. We're not going to do this inset bit or any of this. We're just going to get the basic shape because that's all we need. So we're going to extrude. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Press the little plus sign, lets you do the same thing. And up like that. That'll be fine. Okay, that's fine. Now select, double click this line to select them all, and with this scale tool just drag it out like that, and then the same up here. Tell you what, scale that out like that, that's fine. Then extrude this section, 0.125 is fine, and then press the tick. In fact, this needs to be a lot wider, so selecting them, scale it, nope. We extrude, God, I'm always getting that word wrong. Extrude them out. Let's see. 0.4. 0.4 seems pretty good. Oops. And then just drag that down because it's a bit too thick. Yeah, that's cool. Now we're going to do these sections here. Seeing as it's not a really detailed model, we're not going to do this bit here. We're just going to select the edge and extrude it out because that's all you really need for this. Because we're going to make it look smooth anyway. So in front view, inside left view, going to drag this down like that. In X-ray mode, in fact, right click, object properties, going to freeze this, untick show frozen in grey, and change visibility to 0.3. Yeah, that's fine. So then you can see, and when you're trying to select things, you're not messing about with this shade. So think this one here might be a lot easier to select it from top view. Yeah, and this one here. Now in left viewport again. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Extrude both of them to, let's see, 4. Yep, 4 looks good. And then extrude them again, but doesn't matter how far that will do. And then drag them down. And then drag them in. That, just go to vertex mode, select the vertices, and on the y-axis scale them in like that. Just drag them up as well. That's that bit done. That bit done. As you can see, it is a little bit smaller, but doesn't matter all that much. Okay, so the next bit is this bit here. So in polygon mode, select this one here and extrude it up just a little bit, so 0.2 centimeters. Then inset again, 0.05 seems good. Then extrude it up. Let's see, about 1.3. Yeah, 1.3. That's good. And then inset it 0.05 again and extrude it inwards. That'll do, as long as you don't see it from this view. Okay, next thing we're going to do is smooth this. So with it selected, hold Alt press Q to isolate, and it's time to add some edge loops. Now this side here, seeing as we're not going to see this, we don't need this, so delete it like that. And to be honest, the same for this one, because we're not really going to see it, although we are if we look down on this model. So yeah, just keep it. So click Swift Loop, start from the bottom and start adding the loops. If you remember from the first part, you need to add this loop on both edges to make it smooth properly. And there is faster ways to do this, such as selecting all the edges like this, selecting them all. Let's just use these two as an example, and then pressing connect, and it does them both at the same time. But as you can see, these lines are a lot more closer to this edge than this one is, so that's how it can get a little less accurate. That's why Swift Loop, manually adding the loops is sometimes a lot better. So in fact, we're just gonna start doing this way for a little bit. It's fine. Yeah, you do sometimes have to alter the loops because they are not really close enough. So this section like that. This one. In fact, what I'm going to do is speed this up and then I'll come back to you when it's all done. Okay, I've put all the edges in there. On this section, this edge here needs to be sorted as well, so I've selected these 4 edges here like that and just connected them on both sides of that. So that's that sorted. Okay, now I'm just going to, with this selected, go to the modify panel. In the modify list, select mesh smooth, and this is what your output should be. So what I'm going to do is isolate that. We don't need this box anymore from the first tutorial. Okay, next thing we're going to do is the light bulb. This is going to be really simple. Just go to left viewport, press Z to zoom in, and just get a sphere and make it any size. Going to rotate it 90 degrees and change the segments to, let's see, 14 will do, because we're going to add a mesh smooth to this. Okay, we have right click it, convert to editable poly, and go to vertex mode, and it is just simply this bottom bit is going to be inside here, so delete that because you won't need to have that, because you won't actually see it. So just drag it down in place like that. Vertex mode, just drag them all up. Sure, this moves in view. Just drag it up like that. Okay, this, select these and make them bigger like that, and this section here could be dragged down like that. So could that, yep. That's basically what you need to do for the light bulb, and just move it into place. And in the modifier list, just add mesh smooth like that, and there is the light bulb. If I just put it up like that. What I usually do is select all the items. Let's unfreeze everything first. Up here, change this to black, and in the material editor, drag this on like that, and this is usually how I work. It lets me see the wireframe of the geometry a lot easier. I'm just going to change this back to 1 by right click, object properties, visibility to 1 like that. It's in X-ray mode at the minute. and here is the finished lamp. In fact, we need to add a mesh smooth to this, like that. Okay, there are some edges that we need to sort out, so go to the top, click one, hold shift, click another one, it loops them, 2 segments, and I've got the pinch at 60. Like that, select all the inside ones, just do the same thing, and the same for the bottom ones. In fact, I'll do 70 will do. Okay, and just go back. Tell you what we forgot to do. Forgot to do them on the outside. Outside's just as important. Okay, if you have these edges here, double click this line to loop it, hold control and double click the others, because you do not need these because they make absolutely no difference. So just delete them with backspace or delete. Hold control, no, hold shift after clicking one, click the other to select them all, and segments 2 after connecting segments 2, put that at 97, that's fine, and come back out. That looks great. Okay, now we're going to add some materials to it. So in the material editor, with your just select a material slot and click standard. In fact, no, press this render setup button, third from the right, and on the common tab scroll to the bottom, click assign renderer, and where it says production, click the 3 little dots and make sure you have NVIDIA Mental Ray selected as your renderer. Okay, once you've done that, in the material editor, click standard here next to the name of the material, and under Mental Ray click Arc and Design. Okay, and just drag that onto the body. You can see it's made a difference already, and in colour you can change it to whatever colour you want. I'm going to have a brown colour like that, because that's the colour of the lamp in the reference pictures, as you can see. Okay, for this section, I know this is white in the reference pictures and this section is metal, but I'm just going to have it all in a chrome colour. So just do the same thing, standard, Arc and Design, let's see, satin metal, yep, I do, click it and drag it on there. And for the light bulb, I'm going to click Arc and Design again, and in the selector template panel we're going to go to transparent materials, glass, thin geometry, like that, and just drag it on. That's them done. And for this shade, we'll just use this first one here. With next to the little colour chart, next to diffuse, click the box. In standard, click bitmap and find this material, find a material that you think will match this or at least look alright, and just drag it on. Don't forget to enable show shaded material, and just adjust the tiling 10 by 10, so you can't actually see anything there. 2, yeah, that would be fine. And there we have the finished lamp. I'll just render this for you so you can see. Hold shift, press F to see what it's going to look like in the render. And I'm just going to add a light. Just change photometric to standard, click skylight up here, and then click anywhere in the scene, and I'm just going to add a floor, just a simple plane. That will do. Change this pink to grey. Okay, so I'll just render that now. Okay, so here's the renders. Here's one with the lamp complete, and here's one without the lampshade on, just so you could see what this part and the light bulb rendered like. So I hope you learned a lot in this tutorial, and I'll see you later. Oh, by the way, in the description below I've put a link for the download of this file, and it will contain this material that I've used on the lampshade as well, so you can go in there, have a look, play around and try to understand it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later.